I'm the Hooded Lid and welcome to my channel. I thought we'd do something a little bit different today, something, well, I've never done before, and it's because nothing is shipping to me, you guys. I don't want to go on and on and on about it, but let me just say one word. Sephora. 3 weeks. They tell you it's less than 2 weeks, and then they change it. And they say at the same time, part of your order has been shipped. And instead of being here in 3 days, it'll be here in 8 days. Yay. So I have ordered some things from other places than Sephora who are doing a better job at shipping. So next week I will have some new products from Dior. I've ordered some things from Beautylish. I haven't heard from them yet. I've ordered some things, I ordered something from Bobbi Brown. The bronzer that sold out immediately, and it's back and it's in my shade. So we'll see when that happens, but I'm trying other things. So today, I thought, I don't know why, I thought, what, those Allure things, the Allure Best Of, I wonder what it was for 2019. And as it turns out, I had a lot of the products, and the products that I didn't have, I could get at the drugstore. And there's only one product that I don't have, which is powder. Otherwise, we're good to go. So let's get into it. For light coverage foundation, I actually pulled this down a couple of days ago, or maybe a couple of weeks ago. You know how time is right now. It all blends in, right? Skin Feels Good from Lancome. I got this in 2 shades because the shade selection for this particular product isn't very good. So you have to kind of mix. And I'm not the greatest mixer in the world. I'll look at my hand and say, yeah, that's good. And I put it on and say, whoa, it's too dark. Or it's too light. But this is very pretty. So I do 2 of the lighter and 1 of the darker. And then I blend it with my fingers. I don't know why I do that. This is such an interesting product. This is probably going to be a little too dark, but it's too late to change it. Here we go. It feels like water bursting onto your face. It feels so nice. And I don't believe in fragrances in skin products, but it smells good. It just does. So this is light coverage. It's great for the summertime when you want to do something fast, but you want to even everything up. And then just check my mirror. So it's a little stripy. So I'm just going to go in with a blender. Oh, you know what's interesting? When I was getting the blender wet, it's kind of self-leveled a little bit. Hit it with a beauty blender, everything's great. It feels so nice on the skin. And it's, it's light coverage, but it is some coverage. If you're just looking to even out your redness, this is spot on. Now here we have a COVERGIRL concealer, which I love this packaging. It reminds me of a perfume that, I can't remember who did it. I will write it down below, but there's something really elegant about these stripes. And the perfume had the stripes and then it had floral below it, and it was so pretty. Getting a shade match is hard, even in the store, because this is lighter than it looks. So the first one I got was L200, and it was like white. And to me, it's lighter in my hand than it is in the container. And when I put this on, I have the same experience, but it does darken up a little bit. So while I have it on my hand, I'm just going to put it on a brush. And I only use this once, and I'm not sure what the deal is. It broke up immediately. Like right in here in the creases, it did not do well. I don't know if it's the kind of product you need to use very, very little of, or a ton of. Some products are like, yeah, the more you use, and then you'll take it off when you blend it in, and that's the way it works best. I don't know if this is one of those or not. And it seems to set pretty fast, so what I just did, you probably don't want to do. Now they said this was one of the best, but they didn't say how it is with crepey skin, older skin. I'm sure that they have a much younger audience. and this needs some serious manipulating. It doesn't look that great. So I'd suggest that you do one eye at a time and are well moisturized. It's getting a little cloudy, so the light's going to change. It's much nicer when the sun is out. It gets very cool when the clouds come in. So I think I'm going to change my lighting just a teeny bit. You might not even notice it. Wow, that one little change, my face has just totally changed color. But I'm bringing my 13X in for my eyeshadow because I want to be able to use both hands, one with a brush and one to pull everything taut. Although, with the product I'm using, you don't need to pull everything taut because it's just a darn good product. For shadows, the Makeup Forever shadows, which you know if you've been here before, I'm newly infatuated with these shadows and I want to get more. They're big pans, they're not cheap, but they're really, really good. So I'm going to primarily use the pink and the gray today, and I'm going to pull you in and we'll get started. If you saw the video where this flew out of my hand, it was off camera, you couldn't see my hands, but you heard it fly over there. It was not a good sound. My mirror did not break, but this came out of the pan, not out of the Z palette, for lack of a better word, out of the pan in two big pieces and then a bunch of little pieces. So I just pressed them back in and seems to be working fine. But today we're going to go in with this pink color. And I'm just going to pull the lid taut. Now, one thing I love about these shadows is you can build them, you can sheer them. They're really responsive to what you're doing. You know, I just feel like I'm not fighting with them. And then pull it up a little bit. I don't have to pull like I just did, and probably I shouldn't because I think I just took off some of my concealer. But I just feel like it really for the next color I'm going in with. It's just, they don't get stuck in your crepies. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful eyeshadow. And if it's within your budget, or if you're a person, for instance, who just likes to have 5 or 6 basic colors, splurge and get 5 or 6 basic colors in this. I really don't think you'll regret it, especially if you're crepey. And now I'm going to go in with this gray color. Just going to take it on the tip initially and use it as a liner, and then we're going to do some other stuff with it. Go halfway. So I'm kind of doing an open V, really. And then I'm taking a teeny little blender and working this out. And this, I'm just going to spend some time on. Really feel where that brow bone is, the orbital bone is, and get it on the outside. But really blending it out so it's just a lovely haze. And if need be, I'm just going to go back in with the pink. But first I'm going to do this side, and we'll come back and decide. I'm blended, and let's move on to the L'Oreal Gloomy. Okay, it was so sunny and pretty, and now it's gloomy. This is not gloomy, it's Loomy. I'm using it as a highlighter, although you can certainly use it under your foundation. I think that's how most people use it. And I think they also use it mixed in with their foundation. I'm going to just use a beauty blender, I think, and pick that up from the back of my hand and just get a really light look. A nice subtle glowy look for those subtle days. And I just kind of put it like that, pick it up like that. I prefer to do this with my fingers because I feel like I have a little bit more control, especially since the light just changed. But I'm sure it'll be fine. Now I feel like the combination of my sunscreen, my skincare products, and this I need to powder. And I don't have one of the powders. They like the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder, which smells like crayons, left in a basement for 20 years. It's like old, waxy, mildewy kind of smell to it. I had to return it. A Jouer press powder, which I don't think I've ever even seen that. And yeah, I don't think there was a drugstore brand to choose from. So I'm going to use my own powder, the hyaluronic powder from by Terry, before I go in with blush. Well, pretend the tag's not there. For blush, the Fit Me, and this is in Rose. It's very pretty, actually. So I'm just going to work my brush into it and see what happens. Picks up a lot. Take it off of my hand. Oh, I think it looks like it's going to rain now. Really a pretty, lovely pinky color. I considered getting something different than what I would normally get. They had a wine color, a couple of colors that are kind of a deeper wine that I thought might be fun. But to me, those colors seem better suited for winter. And I didn't like their peaches and oranges. They were, it kind of made me nervous. For bronzer, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So yay. And they didn't even have a bronzer listed for high-end. This was the winner. The smell is just a lot. And a little bit on top of the cheeks. And whatever's left, over the nose, the chin. And for mascara, the Milani Highly Rated. I don't do a lot of Milani products. I think I have a couple of smaller eyeshadow palettes upstairs that I don't really use. I keep them because they have a couple of unique colors in them in case I ever need them. I think I've tried one of their lipsticks or two of their lipsticks and brought them back because they go on nice, they feel nice, and after about 20 minutes they start to feel real drying and they disappear in my experience. So let's see how mascara goes. Decent brush. Now, I didn't read the content behind this, like if they had an explanation for why they liked any of these products, I don't know. I just saw the list online and went through it. But there's nothing spectacular about this. I don't get it. It doesn't look any different than any other mascara from the drugstore. Certainly not different than the Lash Paradise. Maybe they just didn't want to do the Lash Paradise. Beats me. And I just remembered I didn't look up eyeliner. Darn. But I do have lips. So these are the Revlon Ultra HD Matte Lips, and I remember when these came out like 4 or 5 years ago. I love them because they are so comfortable. Are they long wear? No, I don't care. Because sometimes I really like a matte look, but I don't need to have something stay on forever. And the formula is very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury formula, and this is my favorite of all the Tilburys because I find her lipsticks a little bit drying too. Things with a lot of dimethicone don't always work with me in the bullet form, but this is so comfortable, and this formula pretty much the same. Let's see. Totally Neutral. Or something bright. I think I'm in the mood for something bright. And I like the smell. It's kind of vanilla-y. And the wand you can kind of turn this way to outline a little bit. It's just occurred to me that I just put a big bright lip on an eye that looks kind of heavy because of the gray. So I'm going to go back in with the pink and see if I can kind of mute that gray. I just blotted and left a little bit of color, which I kind of like, you guys, but I guess we could do this one, kind of a nude. And there it is. I didn't do eyebrows either, so a couple of things I missed. Eyebrows, liner, powder. I didn't actually think about any of them until I sat down to do this. I'm like, oh man, I was so proud of myself because I thought I got it all. But I have a lot of it. So this is Allure 2019 Best Ofs, and let's just do a rundown. I really like this foundation. Evens everything up. It feels very nice on the skin. It is not drying. I feel like it does need a little powder, but that could be my skin products and my sunscreen. This I'm not sure about. Yeah, it's in the trough. The coverage is good. If you do not have any crepiness or texture under your eyes, it's something you might want to look at. I don't think it looks horrible, horrible, horrible. It's just not like, oh yeah, this is doing it for me. It's not doing it for me, especially on this eye. So, the Fit Me, you know, what's wrong with it? Nothing's wrong with it. It is a lovely color, blends in nice, it's not patchy, no complaints. The Makeup Forever HD shadows, I love these. Enough said. The Butter Bronzer, it's lovely. It's quite scented, but it's a, you know, it's a huge favorite. And the Milani, it's nothing special. I don't know. I'm not a huge mascara girl. I know when I put something on and it makes my lashes look great, I know what that feels like. This isn't what that feels like. It's like, okay, it's mascara. It's no different than any other typical mascara. It's not like Kush, you know, where it's like fluttery and it looks like I have 5 times more lashes. It's just mascara. And for lips, these are fantastic. They're comfortable. I love the way they smell. For highlighter, this is incredibly subtle. But it's also something you can put straight on your face before foundation, or you can mix it with your foundation, or you can put it on top of your foundation. So it's quite versatile, and it can give you a lovely little glow. I'm not into a blingy highlight. This is a little less than I would go for. Normally it's the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight. This is my HG, and this is not, oh, let's compare them. This is not quite the same. They're both liquid products, but there's the Chartar or Chartil, pretty nice. So here's the Lumi. It seems a little more pink, and there's the Charlotte, but their glow looks pretty similar. This is wet though, where I feel like this is not going to change. This may change when it dries. Let's see. Maybe I should just put on a little bit more, because I did powder and highlight. It just doesn't read quite the same, although it does on the hand. All right, you guys, that is my Allure 2019 Best of Full Face, almost, and I think it's a pretty look. I also did not do eyebrows. That's going to do it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I hope I was able to take you out of your day for a few minutes, and maybe you got some ideas on some products. They're not brand spanking new because this was 2019, but I think they're all being made still. Yeah, every one of them. Until we meet again, stay safe and smart. I'm wishing you good health.